I try not to confuse the things that I believe with the things that I know. I don't pretend to know things like, was this election stolen? But I will tell you what I believe, and that is, no, I don't believe it was stolen. And here's how I come to that conclusion. So there's a lot of information out there that is flooding. I mean, I don't read all these stories about the counting machines and, voting irregularities and all these things that kind of are putting thoughts in people's minds. And I think the people that resist this election result the most are it's pretty obvious. The people that wanted Trump to win are the ones that are going to be claiming voter. Nobody's going to be like a Biden supporter and saying, "Oh, I can't believe this was stolen for Biden, but I'm glad it happened." It doesn't work that way. So if you look at 2016, the people that said that it was stolen, it's the other way around. So it's not coincidental that everything kind of flipped the script this time. Well, the way I come to this conclusion is there's a few things. Think about the information that everyone thinks they have. Like, look at the proof that we have. This is the one that's a little harder to understand, but I'll call them keyboard warriors. The people that send me these messages privately, telling me to watch these hour-long videos of somebody expressing, trying to explain how the election was stolen. They make it seem as if this is information that Trump's team doesn't have. So if Joe from Accounts Receivable is able to figure this out, why isn't Trump's team able to figure it out to the point where they could prove it in court? Maybe, just maybe, that guy that's making the YouTube video that looks pretty slick isn't as slick as you think it is. That's one. So that's not the strongest thing that makes me believe what I believe. The next thing, and probably the strongest evidence that I have is, and this takes a little bit of time to set up. The narrative going into the election was there was going to be this huge blue wave. And I said ahead of time that I thought Biden would probably win, but I wouldn't be surprised if Trump won. There were polls ranging from, Trump was going to win, some of them, all the way up to like this big, huge blowout, which I never really thought it was going to be a blowout, but I told some friends that if it was going to be a blowout, it was going to be a blowout that I thought Biden would blow out Trump, but it couldn't go the other way around. Now, obviously, and the reason I think that is because I think the country is so divided between GOP and Democrats that there's no clear-cut majority for either party right now. So anyway, so the narrative had been set, and now some people believe that narrative was set by design and that the media was complicit in making people believe that there was going to be this huge blue wave. Whether that's true or not, that's another topic. But if you really wanted people to get out there and vote, which you need, that's the one thing that you have to have, right? You have to have people come out and vote for you if you're going to win an election. The last thing that I would want my candidate to have is this false sense of security. So it would be counterproductive to have a narrative that, you got this in the bag, because then people might not come out and vote for you. And I know the other side of that is people want to vote for a winner, so whatever. But so I'm not going to argue that point right now. But what I will say is, if the narrative had been set already that there was going to be this blue wave, and I have a blue shirt on, but that's not because I'm showing support for the Democrats, because trust me, I'm not. But so anyway, had there been a blue wave election, not just the polls, that would have fit the narrative that had been set, allegedly. So why did the Democrats lose House members? And why is the Senate probably not going to go to the Democrat side? If these people that were able to coordinate this massive freaking election fraud, why don't they go ahead and make it a blue wave? They could manipulate votes, but not that many votes. I mean, there's just, that makes absolutely no sense to me. That if you wanted the Democrats to win the presidency and to be able to do all these things that, you know, that I've heard people say is going to happen if Biden gets elected, why wouldn't you just go ahead and steal the Senate seats, for the Senate seats that he needed? Why wouldn't you steal Florida and Texas and some of these other states? Was it just too high of a hurdle? If you can manipulate the votes through a voting machine, there would be no hurdle too high. And I've seen some of I mean, this isn't just like original thought from me, but this is how I come to my conclusion. I've seen some of the reasons why people say that the Senate wasn't included in the thievery. And one of the things was, I think there was, I forget what state it was, but there were a bunch of ballots that had Biden only. They didn't do any down ballot voting at all. And somebody pointed that out as being suspicious, right? And the people that didn't think it was suspicious was saying, hey, that happens all the time. People come out to vote in the presidential election. They don't care about any of that other stuff. They just want Trump out, or they just want Trump in, so they'll vote the one way and not vote down ballot. And so people that thought that was suspicious said they didn't have enough time to mark the ballots down ballot. It's like they really think that there was a time crunch. What did they do it on election day only? You know, if you're gonna have a bunch of ballots pre-marked that you're gonna feed through the machine somehow, then I don't think time is the problem. Anyway, that's just another thought. So the biggest thing, though, to me, that makes this really hard for me to believe that it was stolen is just the fact that the down ballot votes didn't go the Democrats' way. Feel free to disagree with me, but I think it makes more sense, and you can come up with all the conspiracy theories, and I'm not saying that there was no shenanigans going on, because every election has that. It's just, to me, when I think of elections being stolen, it's really hard to do on a national. It would just take such a coordinated effort, and if that coordinated effort was in place, then might as well steal it all. Anyway, feel free to disagree. Feel free to leave some comments. Don't drop a 2-hour video showing proof, because I'm not going to watch it. And if you do, at least give me a synopsis of what the thing's supposed to be telling me. But anyway, that's it for now. Maybe I'll see you next week.